I'm Deep Shah. I'm part of the founding team at Gnosis Pay. Previously, I've been in the DAO space in Web3 since 3 4 years. And in a previous life, I had my own bootstrap company in Web2. I want to talk about something really close to my heart today. Um, Crypto's killer use case. It's a question for the audience. What is the one killer use case that is clear in crypto? Anyone? Anyone? One use case that's proven, people are using it, people find it as a utility, companies are making money through it. Yeah. No one? I can start. It's payments. Payments and banking. Today we hear like so many companies, so much data about adoption. For example, like in Latin America, about 30% of people have adopted stablecoins. And you keep seeing data like this almost every day, right? It's a clear use case, payments, and banking. Let's look at the history of banking. Um, we had banking 1.0, 1950s, 1960s. We had traditional banks, brick and mortar banks with limited kind of local distribution, only around the people in the jurisdiction they're in, and limited technical capabilities. Then we had like the banking 2.0, which is the world of fintechs. In the last couple of decades, think your Revoluts, think your Monzos, think your N26. They made some great strides in like UX for the user, but they were still built on the legacy banking infrastructure. When I say legacy banking infrastructure, it means COBOL. It's a programming language built in 1959, 60, 70 years old. I'm talking about Visa Base 1, Base 2. Standards created 30, 40 years back. I'm talking about Swift, standard made in 1970s. The neobanks today still use this and are built on top of this. I have a different way of looking at this. I'm looking at this in the banking 3.0 version, which is on-chain banks. Imagine banks where the bankers are separated from banking, banking without borders, and empowering users to custody their own funds. This is what we call banking 3.0. This is on-chain banking. Let's talk about what are the differences about banking 3.0 and the other parts, right? Let's say you're a TradFi user. Like there are some good things in TradFi. Like they figured out user experience. They figured out the right UI for the users to use banking. Um, they figured out like customer support. People are fairly happy and feel heard. People have this perceived trust about banks that they can deposit their money. There's some bad parts to them. Current banking system, they're slow and costly. A card payment today, like if you just buy a simple coffee at any merchant, it goes through like 8 to 9 intermediaries, and the money from the user to the merchant goes anywhere between 2 to 5 days. That's long. And the banking system works just Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, right? Not ideal. And the other part, banks are centralized. I was just talking to a friend right now, and he mentioned he runs a big company in Web3, almost like a 150 people company. In 2019, he was debanked by one of the biggest banks in the US, all because they got a whiff of the fact that his clients were in crypto, right? So that's the centralization issue that we're facing. On the Web3 side of things, we made a lot of progress. There are some good things. We give the power to like custody their funds. We empower the users. Web3, by its very nature, it's borderless. So it's less jurisdictional problems. It's composable. It's like Lego blocks. People build on top of each other, right? But Web3, poor user experience. You need to think of so many things before even using a regular app. The customer support is in and out, not that great. And then it's not really connected to this real world. Web3 is this like island where a bunch of people are really enjoying what we're happening, but we're just building products for this small island. It's time we kind of start building people for regular users, for like our mothers and fathers, for our brothers and sisters, right? And that's what we see. as Banking 3.0. It's merging Web 2 and Web 3 into building something that is very usable. It empowers the users to custody. It is borderless by its very nature. It is 24/7, 365. No more Monday to Fridays, 9 to 5 p.m., right? This has the potential to reduce intermediaries. No more like 8, 9 intermediaries between one payment between two people, right? It can be massively reduced, and I'll talk about it more. And the most important part that Web3 is lacking today, it's like seamless UX, making products which people are used to, not changing existing user habits. And this is Banking 3.0. How do we actually achieve this vision? Let me start with a simple analogy. Think of your regular bank account or the regular current account, right? You have a bank account. You can send money in. You can send money in through a bank transfer. You can send money out. You can send money out through a regular bank transfer. Or you can use a debit card, right, to spend that money. On Banking 3.0, the core banking infrastructure is no longer on those 50-year-old traditional systems. It's built on Web3. It's a safe. It's a smart account, a smart contract wallet. This holds stablecoins in the form of currencies. And we also can KYC and KYT on chain. Now, this is your base of the account. This has card capabilities, so you can spend your money like a Visa card. It has account capabilities. We attach a banking account number to this safe. This lets you send money in, like a regular bank transfer, send money out, regular bank transfer, right? If you're in Europe, you can do a SEPA instant. If you're in Brazil, you can do a PIX. If you're in India, you can do a UPI. And this has Web3 capabilities. What does that mean? You can do on-chain transfers to this bank account. You can do on-chain transfers out of it. But you can also interact with other Web3 dApps. Imagine you want to lend or borrow or an Aave or a compound and like a bunch of different things. This is all possible. And this is what we call Banking 3.0, your old bank account with the power of Web3, or your crypto wallet with bank account capabilities. And that's magical. I like to stress on one thing. Like connecting this account to local payment rails will unlock a proposition like never seen before. And this is extremely hard. Imagine your regular Web3 wallet connected to whatever payment rails are there in your jurisdiction. To do this, you'd have to go step by step. Let's say you start in Europe or the UK. You need to have stable coins. You need to get connected to the card system, which is Visa, and also the SEPA instant payment kind of infrastructure. You go to Brazil, there's PIX. You go to the US, there's FedNow, and like in every country. So this is all amazing theoretically, right? What are we doing right now? Where are we? So at Gnosis Pay, like our first self-custody account is live. What does that mean? Our first on-chain account, which has an IBAN linked to it, is live. Our debit card is live. And it has unparalleled FX rate. You can go anywhere in the world and spend this card and probably get one of the best FX rates in the world. And something very cool is we're also one of the first cards to have an ENS printed on the card, like an ENS name. And talking about UX and making things easy for the user, this is how the dashboard looks like. Just like a regular bank account, you see your balance, you can spend money, you can see all your transactions, you can add funds, send funds. So this is what we envision as the future. We also launched like a cashback system just a couple of weeks back, and this is extremely cool. You can get up to 5% cashback on an on-chain bank account right now, depending on the amount of GNO you hold on your Gnosis Pay safe. There's also one cool thing we are doing, building in the true ethos of like blockchain and decentralization, and something that Gnosis is very always has stood on. We want to build products that are open. And our first two kind of B2B partners, also like wallets who want to integrate our infrastructure, are already live. One is Metri, one is Zeal. So if you're a wallet and you want to make your wallet essentially a neobank, come talk to us. What's next for us? Something that I'm super excited about is settlements with Visa. We're talking with Circle and Visa to enable like actual on-chain settlements. And this is powerful. Let me tell you why. Right now, like I mentioned, to go from the user to the merchant, if you're buying a simple coffee, it takes 2 to 5 days, the funds to flow, and anywhere between 6 to 9 intermediaries who all take a cut in the middle. It's super inefficient. It's very costly to the user. Imagine that if you can directly settle in stables, what this means is Visa gets stable coins. They're also kind of doing a pilot with WorldPay, which is an acquirer, to actually settle with them in stable coins, which would mean the merchant would receive this. And if we can get this entire flow cycle on chain, we can have tremendous efficiency gains. It also reduces the collateral cost that the issuers have to kind of keep, which is anywhere between like 1 to 4 days of collateral. If you have millions of users, this cost can go like in many, many millions, which can be saved. So this is something particularly that we're excited about. We're also like thinking about multi-currency cards. So not just supporting one card on your bank account or one currency on your bank account, but like multiple currencies. And that brings me to the next thing. We're currently live in EEA, UK, and Switzerland, but we're going live in Singapore in the coming month. And that's why we are here. We wanted to launch, and you can join our waitlist to get like priority access to our product, and also a chance to win the OG NFT. The OG NFT comes with like a lot of perks. So yeah, that's all I can say. You can get on the list, talk to us. We're super excited to be here and pushing the boundaries of banking and payments. Thank you.